Hello YouTube, xxMason here, and in today's video I'm going to be answering the question iOS or Android. Now I always get this question. People always be like asking me, Eddie, should I get the iPad or the Nexus 7? Should I get an iPhone or the Nexus 4? Should I get the Galaxy S3 or the iPhone 5? They always ask me questions depending on different OSs. So this is what this video is about. I'm going to be answering that question and just giving you guys my personal opinion on how I feel about this. I guess I can say competition between Apple and Google and the OSs and how I feel. So first I'm going to say what I feel about iOS, and I'm going to say about what I feel about Android. Then at the end I'm going to tell you my two personal favorites. I'll give you my decision on who wins. First we're going to start off with iOS, and the first good thing I want to say about iOS is the simplicity of the operating system. Now, say if I was a old lady, I didn't know anything about technology, I didn't know about jailbreaking or anything like that. If I bought the iPhone, I'll be able to use it to its full potential right when I got it. There'll be nothing I need to do. Once I get it, it'll work straight out of the box, and I won't have to do anything because that's how easy iOS is to run. You just start it up, the apps are there for you, and it's basic what you have to do. You don't really do anything to your iPhone. The most customization I had is jailbreaking, and if I'm a 30-year-old lady that don't know anything about jailbreaking, I won't be doing that. So it'll be easy to operate my iPhone, and I won't even be using it. I'll just basically use it for web browsing, which is easy. Safari's on the front page, basically, and I'll use it for calls, which is also on the front page. Actually, it's in the dock, which is always there. But yeah, the iPhone is easy to use. You don't need to do anything to make it work. That's what I'm going to say. iOS, easy to use. It's simple, basic. iPhone, it works good. It's simple, simplicity. Now let's get to the second thing, which is instant updates. Now you guys may know on the Android side that, say if you buy a phone, Galaxy S3 on Sprint, you buy it and it came out on ice cream sandwich, and a few weeks later, Jelly Bean comes out, and you're like, hey, I want Jelly Bean, but you won't get it because the carrier has to go through the updating process of bringing the update to your phone. But on an iPhone or an iPod or iPad, the update to the new iOS will be instantly. Right when they release it, it should come to your device, unless your device is really, really old and it doesn't support it anymore. But you wouldn't buy an old device. But normally, once the update comes out, you can just go check for update and update instantly like that. That is also a good thing about iOS, because once they do that, bam, it works. You don't have to wait for an update. You just get it automatically. You don't have to do anything. Once Apple releases it, it's already there for you. You don't have to wait. It's instant. Unlike Android, where you have to wait unless you have a Nexus device, because if you have a Nexus device, you get the update instantly as well. But that's another good thing about iOS. Also, it's good for tablets. That is the main reason I use iOS, because I use it on my tablet. The iPad is the best tablet in my opinion. iPad 3 was my first best tablet, because iPad 3 is just a very good tablet. It has the Retina display, it just works. It works very good, and I wouldn't use a Nexus 7 over an iPad 3. Also, the iPad mini is a very good tablet, and I think that that's the best tablet out there, because the iPad mini, it's small, it's like the perfect size, and it's an iPad, it's Apple, iOS. Once again, the simplicity, and you just know that it's gonna work. It's easy to use, it's good, it's fast, but the only thing on the iPad mini is that doesn't have Retina display. But if it had Retina display, it'll be working perfectly, which is a good feature for me. Now, it's good for tablets. That's a good thing about iOS. Also, a bad thing about iOS is it's expensive. Now, if you're going to be buying a phone and you want to buy it unlocked, say you want to buy the iPhone, I think it's the iPhone 5, I think it's $650 to buy it unlocked. Yeah, that's a lot of money. But you may say, well, I'm going to buy it on a contract for $200. Well, you do that because that's what a normal person would do. If they're going to be buying a phone, they'll buy it with a contract. But a person like me, I buy phones constantly to review. I'm not going to be getting in a contract every single time. So I buy it unlocked, which is $650 for the iPhone 5. Yeah, that's expensive. More than twice the price of the Nexus 4 on the Android side of things. So iPhones are expensive. They also, if you want to use iOS, you can go down to an iPod Touch. Now, I don't believe that they're selling the old iPod Touches, but they still have the iPod Touch 4 and the iPod Touch 5 on the website, if I'm correct. The iPod Touch 5 costs $299 for the least, the below, the main one. That's the one that you can get at the bottom. $299. That's the least you can pay for the iPod Touch 5. If you want to get the, let me take these off. If you want to get the iPod Touch 4, I think you can get it for $189, which is also good. But yeah, iPod Touch 4 is $189. You can get that just to use iOS on your device. Also, you can get the iPad Mini for $329. You can get the iPad 4 for $499, which is a good price for a tablet that big. But I recommend you get the iPad Mini, or really now I recommend you wait for the iPad Mini 2 to come out, or just the new iPad release to come out if you're going to be getting an iPad. Excuse me, but yeah. Now, I'm done with the iOS side of things. Let's go ahead and get to Android. Now, the first good thing I want to say about Android is that it has customization. It's easy to customize your phone. Once you get Android on your phone, you can hold the screen and it should come up with some options if you want to add widgets or gadgets, or just some things like that you want to customize your phone with. It's just a lot of things to customize. Also, you can install ROMs, which is kind of like jailbreaking. If you root your device on Android, it's kind of like jailbreaking, so you get more customization. You can install different ROMs and things like that, which is very good. Sorry about that. It's very good if you want to customize your phone, because it comes with some customization, or some cool customization once you buy. But if you install ROM and you root it, it'll be more customization, more than jailbreaking, in my opinion. So it's very good customizations, and I'm saying this from a phone, not the tablet, because I haven't really used a very good Android tablet in a while. So I'm saying this was the Android phones, in my opinion. Also, the next good thing is that, not the good thing, the next bad thing about Android is it has late updates. Now, this is kind of opposite when I was talking about iOS, when it has instant updates. On Android, it has late updates unless you have a Nexus device. So if you have the Nexus 4, the Nexus 7, or the Nexus 10, or the Nexus, just the Nexus, then you're getting updates instantly. But say if you have the Samsung Galaxy S3, you're not getting updates instantly. If you have the Galaxy Note 2, you're not getting updates instantly. You have to wait a while until Google pushes it. It goes through a path. If you have a Nexus, it goes from Google to Nexus instantly. But if you have a different device, such as the Samsung Galaxy S3, it goes from Google to carrier to the Galaxy S3. So it has to go through a whole new process, which makes the time much longer, which is why you don't get instant updates for your Android devices, which is why it's a bad thing unless you have a Nexus device. And right now I recommend the Nexus 4 to be your phone, the Galaxy S3, or the Samsung Galaxy Note 2. But I believe that the Samsung Galaxy S4 is being announced this Friday, or they're talking about something this Friday. I'm gonna watch it, see, and do a video later. But yeah, you get late updates, which is a bad thing about Android. It's kind of not that bad, because it's like Android comes out with a new operating system, not a complete operating system, but a new update every year. That's what I'm gonna say, because right when they released Ice Cream Sandwich, it was like it was out for about a year, not that long before they released Jelly Bean. So the people that had Ice Cream Sandwich, they had the newest thing, but when they released Jelly Bean, bam, they was already outdated. So it has late updates. That's a bad thing right there. Also, Android is good for phones. Now, iOS is good for tablets because it has a very good apps on the tablet and it fits perfectly. But on the Android tablets, it's kind of limited of the apps and just the things that you can do. But on the phones, it's perfect. Android is perfect for phones. I actually use an Android phone right now as my primary phone. So Android is good for phones because customization, and it has ease of use. But say if you were 85-year-old lady, you probably wouldn't be having a Nexus 4. But say if you did, you'll probably need a little bit of help to work it, because it's not that easy. It is, but not to an 85-year-old lady. it has the call buttons, the web buttons, and all things like that. But what if you want to add a weather widget? An 85-year-old lady wouldn't know how to do that if she didn't have any help. So you do need to know more about Android if you want to be getting it to this full potential. Also, a good thing about Android is that it is cheap. Now, when I'm saying cheap, I'm not saying cheap in a bad way to where it feels nasty. But when I say cheap, money is cheap. The Nexus 4 comes in at $300 for the Nexus 4 fully unlocked. That is a good price right there. And it's a Nexus phone. A Nexus 4, the newest one, for $300. That is a good phone. That's why I recommend that phone to anybody who asks me what kind of Android phone they need to get. I say Nexus 4. Because it's $300 and it's a Nexus. You get instant updates. You get good customization. A good screen. $300 and it's unlocked. That phone is it's perfect. That's the phone I'm using now. But yeah, it's cheap. It's more than half the price of an unlocked iPhone. Yes, more than half the price of an unlocked. You can get, it's even less than the iPhone 4. The iPhone 4 unlocked costs $450. Come on, man, that phone is 2 years old. But that's how good Google is. They can make good phones for cheap prices. Guess Apple just wants their money and they want it bad. So, yeah, that was just my iOS versus Android. Now you're probably like, Eddie, who wins? Who do you want? They both win. I will use iOS for tablets and I'll use Android for phones. That is what I do. You can't call me a fanboy. I use both of them. I don't use Windows. I don't use Ubuntu. But I never will. I probably will use Windows. I'll never use Ubuntu. That's just my opinion. But I use iOS and Android. Oh, I use Windows on my computer. But I'll never use Ubuntu. But yeah, macOS versus Windows. That'll be a later video. But I hope you guys enjoy. Once again, I'll pick Android for phones, iOS for tablets. And that was my video of iOS versus Android. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll probably persuade you if you wanted to get an Android phone or whatever. I probably helped you out in your decision. Well, just rambling now. I'll see you guys in the next video. Deuces, YouTube.